Hey, fight fans, welcome back to the channel. The great guests just keep on coming. Today we've got undefeated MMA prospect Tumelo Bones of Steel Manyamala. He's fighting on the 20th of January at UAE Warriors 46. Tumelo, it's good to speak to you again. How are you doing?
Oh man, I'm all good, man. And yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How's the training going now, man? It's like pretty much a week away before you fight in the UAE.
Yeah, I mean, training is going well. This fight was kind of short notice, so I didn't have a full camp. But my coach and I believe in always staying ready. There's always going to be last minute opportunities like this. So yeah, even though it wasn't a full camp, I still feel pretty ready for this fight. Just dealing with the weight cut now, which is probably even worse than the fight.
Yeah, the final little bit to it.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to ask you, man. What made you choose to go and fight in UAE Warriors as opposed to maybe staying in the EFC and maybe going for a belt at 125 or at 135?
I mean, it's not that it's not an option, but yeah, I just feel it's time to face world class opponents. Mark Climaco that I'm facing is 9-2, and to get a W over someone that's 9-2, someone that trains at AKA with Khabib and Cain Velasquez and all them is a big deal. So yeah, I mean EFC has its place as well. Yeah, but I just feel like this is the next step.
Okay, so you wanted to make the next step up to an international stage. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I'm not saying you should have stayed at EFC, but that is true what you're saying. I mean, 9-2. I think he was on the road to the UFC. He's fought in Bellator, so quite a prospect himself. And yeah, definitely a step up in competition. Have you had any sort of chance to sort of see what he's like as a fighter, or are you guys just prepping for anything?
No, we've seen we yeah, we're prepping. We prep for everything, but also we've seen his strong points, his weak points. We were all prepared. We're all prepared. Um, Originally a Muay Thai striker, but when you watch his fights, I mean, he wrestles a lot. Probably influenced by everyone at AKA. I know they have a lot of like Division 1 wrestlers and all that. But yeah, we're well prepared with the wrestling. We don't have bad wrestling as
You got great wrestling there.
wrestling. Yeah. So I think he's going to be surprised by the level that we have here in South Africa. I feel like we're very underrated and looked over, but it's time to show the world that we are world class down here.
No, 100%. Dude, I can imagine how demoralizing it must be because you've got this great American wrestling, background or gym that's helping you, and then you think, oh, well, South Africa, what do they know about wrestling? And then it turns out we know quite a bit about wrestling as South Africans. So I can imagine that's going to be super demoralizing if it ever does go to that. Just in terms of UAE Warriors, have you signed like a multi-fight deal, or is this just like testing the waters now, or what exactly? How does that work?
I mean, I signed a deal just for this fight, but in future anything can happen. You know, um, I'm sure I'm gonna put on a great performance. They're gonna have me back. You know, um, if not, there are other opportunities as well. Other organizations that we have an eye on, and yeah, just keep moving forward. Just keep performing, keep working hard, and opportunity will catch up to hard work. That I truly believe that.
100%. Have you ever been to the Middle East or to Abu Dhabi?
Never, I've never even been off the
Oh, really?
continent. Yeah.
It's a good time to fight there now because it's like I think it's winter there now, so it'll still be pretty hot, but at least you're not fighting in like 40 degrees, even though it's indoors.
Yeah. I mean, ups and downs. Um, I feel like if I went there in summer, I wouldn't even need a sauna to cut weight. Just walk in the street.
Yeah. Sauna's the most useless thing. Sauna's the most useless thing in the Middle East, but honestly. It's like hotter outside.
Yeah, just go outside.
Yeah, and you've now recently started going into MMA full time. I know when you were on the podcast, you said that's something you wanted to do. It's quite brief into you doing that, but have you already sort of started to see some of the benefits of being able to do that?
Definitely, definitely. Teaching is, I don't know, it's such a passion of mine. I knew I would love it. Even when you listen to our podcast, I told you how passionate about it I am, and I get to teach kids as well. And looking at these kids, they remind me about when I was young. And you could be teaching a future UFC champion. You just don't know. So I put lots of passion behind my work, and just always thinking about martial arts. Always thinking about a technique to teach. Also teaches you. Because you memorize the technique to be able to teach it. It's like in school, they said that if you want to learn something, you must learn how to explain it to someone else, and then you'll truly learn it. So I feel like it's only shooting up my game.
Mm. And in terms of like your own training, have you been able to get more sessions in and change the way that you approach things?
Most definitely. I basically live in the gym now.
Yeah, that's dangerous. When you're able to do that, then that's super dangerous rather than, having the full-time job and everything.
Yeah.
Now, so just in terms of like we spoke about, obviously your goal wanting to get to UFC. I know you're taking one fight at a time, but have you been keeping an eye on the 125-pound division lately in the UFC and seeing how much has been changing and things like that?
Yeah, definitely. Speaking about it, Manel Kape just missed weight by like, yeah, what, 3.5 pounds. Just crazy. I mean, he talks, but he is a good fighter. I'm not gonna lie. He is a good fighter, but just the habit of missing weight is not. It can tear you down as a fighter. It's hard making weight. I'm not gonna lie. Being disciplined. It's like going to the shops. Usually, you don't see all the carbs there are, but when you're cutting weight, like they just catch your eye, and it's so tempting. It's very tempting, but you have to, see the end goal, and yeah, just know why you're doing it.
Do you think he's just too like he's not? It's not like he's too big for the division. Do you think it's just like what do you think it is with these people making weight? Because even Cameron Simon's like last two opponents also missed weight. Like, do you just think it's just a thing of like they're just happy to take the 30% cut and just be a bit of a weight bully? Do you think it's laziness? Do you think? I mean, it's obviously unprofessional, but like, what do you think it is?
I just think it's lack of discipline, to be honest with you. Because I cut quite a bit for this fight in a short period of time. It takes discipline and self control, and the more I'm in the fight game, I realize that people lack discipline and self control a lot. You know, before being a professional fighter, you would think like all professional fighters are, so disciplined all the time, always dedicated. But the more you're in the game, you realize that that's not the case. And if you're able to pull that off, you could be one of the greatest ever.
100%. When are you flying out? You said Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday. Yeah, 15th.
Okay. Directly to Abu Dhabi.
To Dubai, and I think we drive to Abu Dhabi.
Okay, right, okay. And yeah, the only thing I think just like it might be like a little bit tricky is it's good that you're going early because with the flight you're probably going to be straight into a sauna because it's there's like a little bit of water retention in the yeah, on the flight. Is there anything else you wanted to talk like to say or talk about or
I mean, honestly, I just feel honored, to represent South African MMA, and it just so happens to be on the same day that Trikus is fighting as well. So yeah, just the honor to be, you know, how do I say, it? Like a martyr for South African MMA, and I feel maybe not as much as Trikus, but I feel like I'm representing our country. I have some sort of weight on my shoulders, but yeah, we'll let the fist talk.
no? 100%. Yeah, listen, it's actually a big weekend because you're fighting, Dickus is fighting, and Mark Hume is fighting on the weekend in Canada as well. So it's a massive weekend. But like we spoke about it, on the podcast, and like a bunch of times, I've said it to a lot of South African fighters as well. It's like the wave of South African fighters is coming, and the biggest thing is just I spoke to Neil Geyser as well about it. Like, I can't remember if it was off camera or not, but like the level of professionalism has just come on leaps and bounds. So like their gym, obviously CIT, you guys at PFA, you know, and there's a whole host of other gyms that the professionalism is now starting to match the talent and the work ethic, and like that's the formula for success. And obviously now, like with more of you making it to these international stages, then it's going to be more of a recognized location where fighters are coming from. So then there'll be the next generation getting opportunities and more opportunities. So you're 100% correct, man. There's a lot. South African MMA is definitely behind you. People have taken, everybody's taken notice. I've said, you know, you're one of the hottest prospects in South African MMA. I still think so. So I'm really excited to see how you do.
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. You've been supporting me since the beginning, and yeah, I'll keep that in mind. You know, one day when I'm in the UFC, I'm gonna shout out.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, of course, dude. I mean, like I say, man, I've been a big fan of yours for a long time. So I'm happy to see that you're now on the international stage, and it's one step closer to becoming the UFC champion, possibly two-weight champion, man.
Exactly. Who knows?
Yeah, no, we know, no, there's a big chance. So, listen, Tumelo, all the best for next weekend. You know, good luck with the rest of the last little bit with the cuts and everything. And yeah, definitely be watching. Where can we watch it in South Africa?
So it's only gonna be on UFC Fight Pass. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, people are gonna have to pay. But yeah, my gym should be having a watch party. You know, if you're in Cape Town.
Yeah. Okay. Cool, man. Yeah. So if you guys want to catch it live and you're in Cape Town, head up to PFA. Yeah, it's in the evening, right? It's like around 8 o'clock. Right?
So it starts 6 o'clock UAE time, which is 2 hours ahead. So yeah, 8 o'clock, and I'll be the fourth fight. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Get there at 4 o'clock. Is it an open invite? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But we'll definitely be keeping posted, I mean, to all your socials and everything. And yeah, we'll be looking forward to seeing you take the W.
Thank you so much. I'll make sure to bring it. All right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Anytime. Cheers, everybody.